Howdy, y'all. Brett and Cindy Tia and Living. It's time for a garden talk, but today we decided we'd take a garden walk. Go through the garden and kind of show you some of the things we had going on. First thing that we got here is our squash and zucchini. We've about lost the battle with the squash bugs, I think.
The bugs has really moved in bad on us.
Yeah.
I work on them morning and evening to get the bugs and the eggs off, and I got a feeling I'm missing some. They're pretty good at their job.
Oh yeah.
But we've got, I think, 6 of one, and 6 of the squash, and 3 of the zucchini left. They've been here a long time, been here since April.
Oh, they've done real good.
That row there is a row of Jetstar and Jetsetter tomatoes. They're hanging in there. There's quite a bit that died on the bottom, but they just get longer and longer.
Yeah, they're about to turn over the top.
They're already laying over some. Get turned here. A row of okra here.
Big old oak tree.
It's doing really good and finally getting up to size and putting on quite a bit of okra. Of course, we got our cantaloupe. They're still doing good, still growing. Got a big old cantaloupe down here. There's several small ones. We're waiting that right there to turn now. That's our second row of Jetstar and Jetsetters. They're basically the same thing. There's a little bit of difference when you read the description on them, so I just mix them together. There's still several green tomatoes on them. They're on both sides of them. Of course, we passed up our bell peppers here.
Yeah.
Bell peppers are just now getting up to size and starting to do good. They're almost waist high, except for that sweet pepper down there at Cindy. I don't remember what kind of sweet pepper it is, but it's
Banana, I think.
It makes a bigger pepper than a banana. It just said sweet pepper on the seed, so I'm not really sure.
It kind of look like banana pepper. These are jalapeno. Oh no, wait a minute. Those are the Bodai.
These are the Bodai, however they want to say it. Makes little round red peppers. You can see a little orange one there, and there's a little red one down in there. Several little green peppers on it. Of course, we walked by our sunflowers. These are the jalapenos you were speaking to talk about.
Jalapeno.
We got about 9 of them scattered.
We had a lot more on here, but it's time for the fish fry, so we've picked a bundle and
bunch of them yesterday morning.
sent them to the fish fry.
Got them a sack full. Might not be enough to fry some fish.
Yeah. Try to at least.
These 3 little tomatoes is they were volunteer tomatoes. They came up different parts of the garden, and I gathered them up, and they was little. One of them we do know what it is because it's our heirloom tomato. Come back. It's the Atomic tomato. We grew them last year. That one is recognizable. Of course, these are the Abe Lincoln tomatoes. They're looking pretty bad. They're getting close to the end of their cycle here. You can see the back side of the Jetstar and Jetsetter. They just got tomatoes everywhere. They don't stop in the hot weather. Got the cucumbers here. They're about done. We're gonna have to pull them for too long. I planted another little sunflower here. I had one left over. It was a runt. We planted a couple of peanuts for seed. I had some in the freezer that hadn't been planted in a couple years, and I thought I better get them started again. This is our roll of potatoes we keep making videos about and talking about. They're finally up to size. The ones down at the bottom are the oldest. They're actually starting to lay down. Tops has got heavy enough, and Hopefully there'll be some potatoes out of them. Of course, this row right next to it is our fall run of Jetstar and Jetsetter. Yeah, we're wiring them out. There's 23 in this row. Was 24, we lost one. The other 23 seem to be moving along pretty good. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff packed in this small garden. These are the speckled butter peas. They are starting to bud, they ain't hardly got blooms yet. But they're making runners everywhere. And so far I haven't really got them to climb good. We tried the string method and they'd rather run across ground, they do go up. They don't seem to have any way to tie on. I'm just having to wrap them around it as we go. And we can talk about the corn. I can see it over the top of this. This is a small patch of Buell corn. It's a open pollinated corn we're trying. We just got a small patch of it. See how it works out. See how we like it.
If we like it.
If we like it. It's supposed to have the old sweet corn taste, and that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
We're going to see if they're right about it. Yeah, we're making this video a little faster than the previous one because there was something wrong apparently with the previous one.
These are the beans.
These are green beans. They're hit and miss in the rows. I've had bad luck with these actually to germinate and come up.
Water washed them out at
We've
one
had
point.
all kinds of issues, but that's what the little group is over here. They was planted first and they're a little thicker. They're bush beans. They've got blooms on them finally. We're going to get something out of them. These three little rows I got started is dragon tongue beans. We had a couple packs, decided to try them, see what they was like. We're hoping for a good harvest out of them. That is a lemon starburst pepper. Got the seeds from the Gee Homestead Adventures. You got a neat channel. And these was the leftover cantaloupe plants that we had. We needed a place to plant. We decided to try it over here.
Didn't do as well.
Now, they don't do as well over here. They don't get the water that they need. I don't know. There's something different about it. They just don't grow as well. Plants are having a hard time. Which we made a cantaloupe or two out of here. There's one over there yellow. It needs to be picked right now.
Yeah.
There's another row of Abe Lincoln tomatoes. I think there's 23 in that row, come to think of it. They've got so tall they fell over the wire too.
And the weed patch.
They're hanging over the top of our sweet potatoes and a weed patch. Yeah, we may as well talk about this weed patch right here. That is an intentional weed patch. This is at the bottom of the garden where the water comes down off the hill and turns because their garden is on an incline. There's not much flat here. It's all inclined one way or the other. This is where the water hits the bottom and turns. So we leave a patch of weeds down here to kind of slow down the water works and keep it from washing stuff out. If we can get around the sweet potatoes here. We'll go through our grapevines here. Our grapevine trellis. Good shady place to go when you're working in the garden. Blocks most of the sun off of you. Still feel the wind blow. This is our small carrot patch. It's a raised bed we built this year to take a spot up in the yard that you can't normally just garden. The water runs pretty hard down this ditch line that's next to it, and it gets right up the top of the box most of the time. It has got in it. But you can't have anything as far as the ground open here because it'll wash it away. But then this box with the ties around it, so far it's done pretty well. There was some beets on this side, but the hot weather and the rabbits and all kinds of issues just left me with a few. It was like our second patch of beets though, so nothing to really worry about. Of course, that's blackberries next to it. They're tame blackberries. This is our strawberry box. It's a raised bed we built just for the strawberries this year, which they're already overrunning it. I thought we'd be alright this year, but apparently we need to take some out and build another box somewhere. Our banana plant. We call it a tree, but it dies down every year and becomes a bunch of little bushes again.
Oh, look at the watermelon.
This is our patch of Carolina Cross and some heirloom watermelon seeds, both planted in the same area. I actually got them mixed up when I had them in the germination tray, and I can't tell you which one's which other than when you look at the melons. Our elderberry, right next to the garden. We harvested some berries off it this morning. And this is the watermelon we're waiting on.
Big boy. It's a big old melon.
A big old watermelon.
Big watermelon.
Looks like it won't be long either.
Yeah. It's a little more watermelon than just 2 people can handle.
It's quite a bit. Carolina Cross is a lot for just a couple of people in the house. Now these 5 plants here is spaghetti squash. I misnamed them earlier in a video, but they're heirloom. I can't remember the particular one, but they make the full size spaghetti squash. And they've got the starting of buds or blooms on them. It won't be long. They're starting to lay down, crawl across the ground. It's gonna be interesting to watch. We managed to get a rabbit fence around these because they kept getting in their beans and crippling their beans. This is a 30-something foot tunnel of green beans.
That's
Pole
good.
beans, and they're just now really starting to take off like they're supposed to. It's been a long road trying to get these things to make something between the weather and the rabbits.
I mean,
We're getting there. This long, narrow row of bush beans is big kahunas. They apparently did not like the weather here, but the bugs really liked them.
it's hot.
We're not getting any beans off of them, and the bugs are eating them up, so I 7-dusted them. I'd rather kill the bugs and let them take my beans completely down. Ain't nothing to eat on them anyway. It ain't like I'm eating it, but it's the point behind it. I'm not letting them win. I'm gonna fight them. Now this melon is one of the heirloom melons I normally plant. Yeah, killing a bug. Sorry. They're a long, slender melon, where the Carolina Cross is usually a shorter, bigger, round one for some reason. And the end of a Carolina Cross is kind of messed up on the blossom end of it. Like the big one over there, is.
Yeah, I hear it.
The big Carolina Cross there, and there's several under the foliage here. You can't hardly see.
There's one big one out there.
Hey, another hiding in there. But they're doing pretty good. It's all we want anyway. This is something you don't see often here. It's called an empty bed. Usually we have an empty spot anywhere in the garden we replant.
Oh yeah.
We don't usually let it stay, but this is going to be for our garlic here in September.
There's some garlic in it, letting the soil rebuild.
We got to amend that soil and get the rest of the grass out and probably cover it with plastic for a few weeks. We just ain't got to it. Watermelon has though, it's crawling in it.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
Okay, after a little walk, this is our cucumber experiment, cucumbers in the shade. They are touching the top of the porch now. 2 of them is probably 8 foot or longer, and the other ones are catching up with it. And we do have some baby cucumbers on it. I found one earlier. I found 2 or 3 earlier.
There's one.
There's a baby cuke. I don't know, there's 2 or 3 already down in it. We think it's going to be pretty neat because they grow so long in the shade. They're trying to get back to the sun. I told her, if why don't we just put some hooks on the front of the house and let them go around the porch. We'll let cucumbers hang in front of the house.
I may get to pick me a cucumber from the porch. And
You said earlier it'd be nice if you could come out on the porch and pick cucumbers.
yep,
Looking like we might get to.
looking that way.
Of course, these are apple trees here.
Yeah.
There's some we pulled up last year and started in buckets for our new property. We got the garden huckleberries, and that's about all that's left. These, I don't think we got a wonderberry left.
No, I think we pulled them up.
They pulled them up, but they got pretty rough. We had some tomato plants and some pepper plants that was the runt of the bunch. Just didn't want to grow good. We brought them over here and pulled some stuff out and repotted, and trying to take better care of them up close to the house and watch over and hopefully get them started again. We put our best plants in the garden, but we gave these another chance.
That's what we do here.
That was another volunteer tomato plant, and it's doing pretty good in that self-wicking tub. It's got a couple little tomatoes on it.
Yeah.
Growing in there with it, you can see right to the side hanging out is we put a carrot top in there to grow seed. And we've got 1 pod of what looks like fixing to be seeds and 2 more coming. And we'll get to plant our own carrot seeds this fall. Of course, we got our herb bed. It's still got dill and basil and onion chives and rosemary, and there's some wild garlic in the back of it, or was. I don't know if it's still alive or not.
Our little old kiwi plant.
For a little more of these garden huckleberries, if we can get rid of and replant different stuff. Last but not least, our kiwi plant. It's been a learning experience, but it's growing good again, and it's green. And we was just discussing it's back looking pretty good and healthy. We're going to put it back out in the sun and let it take off again. We kind of kept it sheltered for a little while. That's about it for a quick tour of the garden. Hope y'all enjoyed our little walk around. Come back and see us whenever you can.
Have a good evening.
God bless.